Hello and good morning. It is Friday, June 2nd, 2023, and we are live here at the Kanawha Valley Hustlers podcast. And I want to welcome you here today. It is Friday, Feel Good Friday. I love Feel Good Friday because it's all about feeling good and having a good time. Wanted to come to you here today as we begin to go into the weekend. And all week long, we've been kind of talking a little bit about music this week, and we've had some music guests already. So I thought that today would be a great time to bring on yet another musical guest. So I called up my buddy Neil, and I asked him if he would want to come and join us live for our podcast here today. Now, Neil is a guitar player. You might actually recognize him if you're in the Teays Valley area and you've seen the signs all around that say Zoom guitar lessons with a phone number on it. That's actually Neil, and Neil is involved in all kinds of projects. He teaches piano, he teaches guitar, he teaches banjo, he teaches, I believe he teaches ukulele. I'm going to ask him all about that stuff here in just a second. And he's also involved with Thump Daddy, The Unit, and Area 304 Blues. So my goodness gracious. When you talk about being a hustler, Neil, I think you're the guy. So, Neil, tell me, what's your hustle, buddy?
I'm living the dream, man. I have my BA in music from Webster University out in St. Louis, Missouri, and I have been teaching since 2002. And I started out teaching at Fret and Fiddle in St. Albans when Joe Dobbs was alive. And then after he passed, I moved my business to Teays Valley. And then the pandemic hit, and I decided to adapt, and I'm online now, so I'm nationwide teaching.
So, how was that transition? What was that like going from just in-person only traditional kind of music lessons to going to virtual lessons?
There's this group in town called Advantage Technologies, and I called
Familiar with
them.
them?
Do you work for them?
I've heard of them. I've heard of them.
Dale Harper, I believe his name.
Dale's a great guy. Yep.
Anyway, I called him and said, Dale, let's get some technology. We went through tons of different stuff, and he trained me on how to get the Zoom sound better and how to share the screen and how to send files. And I
Now,
knew nothing
if I
about all
know
that.
Dale, he did all of that pro bono for you, didn't he?
He did.
I know Dale,
He
and he
is a
loves
great
just
guy.
helping out other musicians and stuff like that. So that's fantastic. That's great that he's able to help you out with that. So that was, I bet he helped you out quite a bit with the transition then.
It saved me from going broke, and it's actually been worth a lot of money that he helped me out for. So thank you, Dale. But and then I started figuring out I'm saving parents $1,000 a year and not having to drive
Oh, that's a great point. That's a great point. And you can do it from anywhere, right?
anywhere in the world, and it's really amazing. And I had, if you go to my website and go to the YouTube link, I had Channel 13 come to my house with a news crew, and also they come to Fret and Fiddle owner Chris Nagorka's house, and we did a live lesson to prove it works, and it does work. And he gave a testimony how it works as well.
That's great. I know, I know music sometimes gets a short shrift, but now you're a big believer that music is kind of a key to education and learning. It's not, kind of a side thing. Am I right?
That's absolutely correct. If you look, there is studies scientifically proven that if people study music as a kid, their SAT scores are way better. It teaches you how to be hard work equals success. It teaches you how to work out problems. When you run across a thing you can't do, instead of just quitting, we're going to figure out how to use our mind to figure it out, just like in life. And it really does make you just a better human being, and it's fun.
It's definitely fun. I play a little guitar, and it's one of my favorite hobbies. So, but now I know that you mainly teach guitar and you advertise teaching guitar, but you teach quite a few other instruments, don't you?
I do, and I have I called my friend in St. Louis who she has a master's degree in concert piano, and I said, "Hey, what's all the books?" And I went through all of them, and I've been teaching piano now for 3 years, and I could play piano for a gig around town if somebody wanted piano now.
Wow, that's very cool. Now, talking about gigs, you told me a little earlier that you're involved in 5 different projects. Is that right? Tell me a
That
little bit about those projects.
Well, everybody knows that if your uh, guitar player is overbooked or sick or whatever, I am the guy that can learn 30 songs in one night, and you can't even tell that I've not been in a band. But I'm playing with my old buddy Thump Daddy this Friday. If you want to hear an amazing funk band, come down this Friday to Sam's Uptown Cafe, 9:30 p.m. to 1, and a band in town called The Unit. I played a private party with them up in Beckley because their guitar player was overbooked, and I'm going to be playing with them a lot. And I decided to start fronting my own band, and I have a blues funk band called Area 304. We played a neat place called The Market in Huntington. Had a blast, and then I play out by myself with a loop station, and I sound like a full band. I'm gonna be at Fife Street Brewery June the 7th myself, 7 to 9. But I'm not gonna be playing like just slow stappy stuff. We're gonna be playing some like Allman Brothers and really ripping it up with my Les Paul. And then I got joined to play at Short Story Brewery June the 17th myself, 7 to 9. And then I play at Taylor Books, and that'll be June the 23rd.
Oh, that sounds like you are staying busy. Is there anywhere that people can go to keep eyes on? Do you have like all of your gigs listed anywhere or anything like that?
On my Facebook page,
Okay, great.
on my business Facebook page, and it is linked to my website, so you can just see my whole curriculum of what I teach and everything. I got an actual curriculum of books, like starting out with Hal Leonard, and then going to Berkeley Book One, Two, and Three, and then Rick Beato's Music Theory. So I'm not just a guy that wings it. I've got a whole curriculum, like going to school to really study music, and it's listed on my website, neilcurryguitar.com.
I'm going to put that link in the description too, so that people can see it. But you talk about curriculum, and I know so you play in a lot of gigs. You are teaching. Tell me a little bit about your teaching process. What's involved with that? If you get a brand new student, somebody that's never touched a guitar before, what would they be looking forward to with working with you?
First thing I do is teach them how to tune the guitar with a snark tuner. You know those little tuners on top, and I teach them like how to put all the notes chromatically A sharp B C D, and tell them that that is the line of notes. But then when you hit the top string, it is E, and then if it's like a D note, then that means you need to go to the right and raise it, and how to raise that note to where first on the tuner for it to say E, and then you look at the graph that decides if it's to the left red, you have to raise it, but if it's to the right yellow, then you lower it to green, and how to, even if your guitar is totally out of tune, how to make it sound precise. And then after that, then we go into learning a whole note, half note, and a quarter note. And I have them just hit the single note to do that and understand what it looks like. And then we talk about how to curve your fingers like a claw, and then the proper placement of your thumb to imaginary touch behind the string, and how to put it behind the fret, because when you put it behind the fret, you don't have to press as hard. And then play on the fingertip, and how to hold the pick and just play a chromatic scale with a metronome as whole notes, and then you go through whole notes and half notes and quarter notes, and then you start getting the 16th notes to run scales like an athlete, to really be able to be fluent in your instrument and do that like working out every day. And then you use Hal Leonard book, and we go through book 1, 2, and 3, and then eventually we get our hands strong enough through squeezing a tennis ball to get them strong enough to play a chord. And then I have a system, which I am writing a book, and I'm going to try to start selling about how to learn how to play guitar. Like what I do unique is for forming chords. Like put your second finger on the sixth string, third fret, and then you hit that note alone, and then you hit the fifth string open underneath it, and you keep raising your finger till it sounds open, and then add the first finger. So that way you eliminate that beginning of muted strings, and then add the third finger, and then you test them all out. And if you hear any muted, you keep raising your hand up, so that way they're on the fingertips, and it creates a bridge for the finger underneath so it sounds correctly, and then you strum it.
Very
So
cool. So it sounds like you have a pretty comprehensive method. So that makes me kind of wonder for people again who are just getting started. And I know this is a complicated question because you're never really finished learning how to play an instrument. But how long would you say that it takes the average person to get competent on their instrument?
well, I'm still learning. It's a lifelong journey, to be honest. But I would say I could get them playing the song "Ode to Joy" by Beethoven, and understanding B, C, D, and E, F, and G, and a whole note, and a half note, and a quarter note, and the proper rhythm and timing, and how to work with a metronome in maybe let's say 3 months, just to be honest. But it's probably less than that. Just so, but that's an honest answer.
And then by that point, they could pick up a musical book and learn anything they want.
Well, then it would take about a year to go. It takes a year per book, to be honest.
Okay.
So a year for the first book, and then you got some chords under your hands, and then you know how to switch them with a metronome and make them sound fluent, and how to use common fingers between like a G chord and an E minor, and then a C, and then a D. But there's fingers that are common between those, and first you do strums of just practicing between just G to E minor with a whole note. And then once you get where you can do that at quarter notes for the song, then you add the strum pattern and combine it, and you do a song called "Last Kiss" by Pearl Jam. But why I teach that version is he does it out of G, and the original version with it's like something that Cavaliers, don't quote me on that. But anyway, it has a C sharp in it because they originally did it out of E minor, and I wanted to eliminate the bar chord to make it easier for them.
Gotcha. Very cool. It sounds like you've got a really comprehensive method and that you're really able to help out. Listen, Neil, we are already coming up along our time here. I wanted to ask you, is there anything else that you would like to tell anybody about? I know I'm going to put the link to your website and I'll tag you on Facebook so that people can follow along with you. But is there anything else you'd like to touch on before we go here today?
Um, if you're looking for lessons, contact me with my phone number, 304 And again, that's 304-541-5793. And I can teach you anywhere in the United States by Zoom. And the other great thing is I have worked very hard. I have my 501c3 running now, and that organization is Curry School of Music. And I'm wanting to build a music school in West Virginia, but I am looking for investors that want to invest in the children that just can't afford the lessons and pay for their lessons for them. And I come up with that roughly for 52 lessons is $3,100. So if a child has a guitar and a computer and can't afford the lessons because times are hard, I'm looking for investors. So contact me, and I would love to be able to contribute to West Virginia and teach kids that can't afford the lessons and give that to them as well.
Awesome. Neil, thank you so much. Don't go anywhere just yet. Thank you so much for watching this week. I hope that you enjoyed the Kanawha Valley Hustler podcast. We will be back next week with a lot more exciting guests and topics on marketing and hustling and business development. Hope to talk to you then. Have a great weekend for now. It looks like the weather's going to be fantastic. So until Monday, bye.